Aiden, do you want to go?
Somebody who's on with us.
Somebody's on with us.
It's okay.
All right.
We'll be all right.
I don't know who that was, so we'll get started. I'd like to welcome you to the regular monthly meeting of the Garrard County Board of Education. I'd like to do something a little different tonight. To get us started, I'd like to read our mission statement. The Garrard County Board of Education is responsible stewards of the resources entrusted to us, affirming the dignity and value of all children of our community, will provide all children an education which enables them to graduate college and career ready and to become successful, productive citizens in a global society. Week from tomorrow night, we'll be sending some more students out into that global society as they start a new era of their lives. So we're looking forward to that. But this time, I'd like to call this meeting to order, and please note that all board members and superintendent are present, and we're honored to have the mayor of Lancaster here with us tonight too. Glad to have you, Mr. Norton. This time, would you join me in a moment of silence? Thank you very much. If you'll stand with me now, we'll say the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Thank you, seat. Now at this time, I'll entertain a motion to adopt the agenda.
Make the motion, we adopt the agenda.
Mr. McQuarrie made the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Hart made the second. All in favor, let it be known by uplifted hand. All members were in favor. The agenda is adopted. Now we come to, I think, for all us board members, I know it is for superintendent, our favorite part of the board meeting, Mr. Stoll.
So I agree with you. This is the best part. Tonight we get to do a little bit more than we have in the past, and that makes it even more fun. But we'll start tonight with the Garrard County Schools Whole Latte Love Teacher of the Month. Our Teacher of the Month this year is Sharon Hurt from Lancaster Elementary. Sharon goes above and beyond for Lancaster Elementary and for our students. She's a lifelong resident of Garrard County, and if you mention her name, everyone knows her. She's the former kindergarten teacher that all parents wanted their children to have, and she's the culture builder in the school. She's also the best, most intense, no-nonsense, driven academic team coach in the history of academic teams. Our school has had a successful academic team that won its first region, and it's also the first regional win for our district. Because she cares about our students and the school, she pushes the students in practice to do their very best. And it's her birthday today. So, congratulations. Thank you.
See, for the jury. All right, they got it right now. 1, 2.
There's your congratulations. You're welcome.
Next, we'll recognize the Garrard County Schools and the Farmers National Bank Students of the Month. From Camp Dick Robinson, Lucy Jones, kindergartner, daughter of Blake and Christian Jones. Lucy has worked hard while in school and virtually to participate and complete her assignments. She's an excellent role model for good behavior. Lucy shows kindness and friendliness to all of her classmates, and she's made incredible academic progress as well. Congratulations to Lucy.
Now I can get on
Let's make sure I get everybody. I think I can see. If you can see me, I can see you. 1, 2, 3.
Congratulations, Lucy. From Lancaster Elementary, Grayson Elman, third grade son of Jonathan and Carrie Elman. When Ms. Bottoms asked a third grade student who would make a great student of the month for third grade, that student immediately said Grayson, because he's so nice to us and he's friendly to all of us. I don't know that you could get a better compliment from somebody than to have students say that. Congratulations, Grayson.
One, two.
From Paint Lake Elementary, Kylie Stiles, third grade daughter of Kenneth and Joyce Baker. Kylie always comes to class prepared to learn. She has a can-do attitude and is never intimidated by a challenge. She's always willing to lend a helping hand, whether it's to pick trash up on the playground or help another student with something they don't understand. Again, something that we can't ask more of. Congratulations.
One, two.
Did you take one of her without the mask or the paper?
Sure.
No, it's not.
No problem. Get a close-up of her.
Thank you so much.
From Garrard Middle School, Brianna Shell, the 8th grade daughter of Giles and Ellen Shell. She's always present and prepared for class, participates in the classroom discussions, and asks great questions. She gives great effort and makes the classroom enjoyable for teachers and students. Always has assignments turned in ahead of time, has a great personality. So congratulations. Now, with everybody's permission, we've got a little bit of a double up here. So this month from Garrard County High School, the student of the month is Carrie Bruce. Carrie is also going to be recognized for a second thing, so we're just going to do both of them simultaneously, if she's okay with that. Carrie is the daughter of Brent and Christina Bruce. She's a student who not only impresses with her strong academic skills, but also with her maturity in her actions and in her thought process. She enjoys a challenge and is willing to ponder things that require in-depth knowledge and understanding. Her classmates admire her sharpness and appreciate her willingness to help them out when they struggle. They also know that she's not just going to give them the answer. She actually wants them to understand the process. She always gives her best in all of her work, in her desire to learn, and in her care for others. So she's a student of the month, but she is also a Governor's Scholar from Garrard County High School as well. So will you share that excitement?
There you go, there you go.
We got some finagling to do here. All right, here's coach. All right, I got everybody. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
We have another Governor's Scholar from Garrard County High School. It's Jade Peasley. She's the daughter of Raymond and Jennifer Peasley. Jade is very academically driven as a student. She's determined to do her very best in her academics and in athletics. The virtual schedule that has gone on this year has not deterred Jade from participating in class and submitting assignments. She's persevered in this situation, risen to the top in her overall performance when compared to her peers. While some students have to be encouraged or even coaxed to do their work, Jade is on it. She does not have to be reminded about the importance of her studies or the impact of her grades on Keys money or her academic standing. Jade was also enrolled in online college courses her sophomore year, which is a rare thing for high school students. Jade possesses a great deal of self-discipline and dedication by taking a more rigorous course of study. And I guess Jade's not here, but we can still recognize her.
Yeah.
We get to do 4 of these from the high school, which is really nice. Connor White is the son of Eric and Joni White. Connor is a student with many academic strengths. One of his greatest strengths includes his ability to problem solve and persevere to reach his dreams. These attributes lead him to have an impressive grade point average while pursuing pre-AP and advanced placement courses. His pre-AP and AP classes have given Connor many opportunities to develop and strengthen his critical thinking skills. He uses his problem-solving skills and technology to recognize patterns and conceptually comprehend content. In the classroom, he regularly works to develop perseverance, and when students are encouraged to productively struggle, he persists and embraces the opportunity to strengthen that skill. His determination giving his best effort, led him to persist to accomplish his goals. So congratulations to Connor.
Softball and baseball. He's got to play those. So,
And that's okay. We're glad that they're representing us someplace else. We can get this to them and recognize them again. The 4th one is Kyron Norris, the daughter of Jamin and Chastity Norris. Kyron has all of the gifts that make a solid student. Even as a young freshman, she displayed self-discipline and dedication. She's always presented a positive nature and has been a true leader among her peers. Kyron has developed impressive goals and worked vigorously to reach those goals during her time at Garrard County High School. She's intelligent, curious, hardworking, and humble. She's a leader both in the classroom and outside of an academic setting. She's involved, engaged, motivated to succeed. I think she's in class tonight.
She's taking the final thing.
Yeah. And if you haven't seen the paper, she's on the front page of the paper. So neat things from the high school. So let's recognize her too. Next is a first for us. And that's that we have a student who's been selected for the Governor's School of Entrepreneurs. Let's recognize tonight Abby Keith. She's the daughter of Corey and Rhonda Keith. In class, Abby is conscientious about her work and can be counted on to submit top-notch work no matter how difficult the assignment might be. She's ranked at the top of her class and doesn't hesitate to take upper-level classes to better prepare herself for life after high school. It's a pleasure to witness the growth she's attained academically. She's driven to work to her potential, not just in the big things, but even in the smallest tasks. Abby is a pleasure to work with. Her focused pursuit of each and every one of her goals has helped her to have great success. Perhaps most importantly, Abby is a compassionate person who never forgets those around her, and regardless of who they are, treats everyone with respect and kindness.
Come on, Mom. I was given the honor to present this to you. Congratulations, brother.
1, 2.
Two Rogers Scholars to be recognized from Garrard County High School. Merrick Taylor is the daughter of Richard and Paya Taylor Barber. She's grown tremendously as a student and in her work ethic while attending GCHS. She works very hard in class and strives to do her best. She's always willing to help those students who seem to struggle with their classwork. Although Merrick is undecided on what college she will attend when she graduates high school, she does plan on going to college and will be successful wherever she attends college and whatever she decides to major in. Also, Kylie Tudor. Kylie is a leader in many aspects inside and outside of the school building. She's a member of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes and HOSA, programs that exist at Garrard County High School. As a student leader, she's relentlessly positive and joyful. Despite her obvious full plate, she still finds time to serve her community. In addition to being a committed volunteer through her church, she seeks out opportunities to help others in the community. She especially exhibits a care for the elderly members of the community, spending a notable amount of time at the local long-term care facility. She's a young lady of uncommon grace, warmth, and kindness, and she enriches the lives of all those who know her, as well as Garrard County High School. That's another softball. She actually emailed and said she felt like she needed to provide her leadership on the mound.
You'll have a chance to have all that.
And the next one will be a little bit of a different one, simply because we're inviting some other folks to join us. So Judge Executive Wilson is here, Mayor Norton is here. If you guys would come on up. On this one, we want to recognize Alex Miller, who's an American Idol. Alex is a leader not only at GCHS but across the state. Along with his career in the music industry, he serves as a Garrard County High School FFA Vice President and the Bluegrass Region FFA Sentinel. In both of these roles, Alex has demonstrated servant leadership and dedication to his peers in those organizations. He's never met a stranger and quickly becomes a friend to all. We're so proud of his success and can't wait to watch him grow through his future endeavors.
So we have a special presentation from Mayor Norton and Judge Wilson.
This says, therefore, I, Marshall Norton, do hereby declare May the 20th as Alex Miller Day throughout the city of Lancaster.
Well, I've got a similar one. I'll tell you, I got on YouTube and watched every single Alex Miller thing from all the American Idol to down in
Bless your
Castle
heart.
County. So I want to get his, he's going to have my autograph. I hope I can get his.
Oh,
when
no
we're done.
problem.
Basically, I did the same thing here. This is a proclamation proclaiming Alex Miller Day in Garrard County. I'm really proud of you, buddy.
Well, now you better get a picture of this in time.
It's going going viral now?
Mm-hmm.
What's going on Alex Miller music?
Yes, you bet your life it is. Thank you all so much. That's awesome. Thank you.
And this is from the school board, presented to Alex Miller for making Garrard County famous and proud through fabulous performances on American Idol.
Oh, well, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, appreciate you.
Thank you. Very much. Thank you.
Hey, at least that'll make a wall at home.
Okay, that's the end of our recognitions. If y'all are welcome to stay for the whole board meeting if you like. But if you have somewhere you need to be or want to be besides here, you may leave at this time.
I got my diplomas, I'm kidding.
And you're gonna be graduating too, right?
Yeah, I'll get another one. Thank you all so much.
Well, you're welcome.
Thank you so much. Huh? Bet what? Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
It's hard to get this way.
I hate to say it, but you're right.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you, I appreciate it. I was. I had no idea.
All right. Item number B on your agenda is the site-based decision-making minutes. I'm assuming all board members have an opportunity to go over those. Item number C is audience comments. Do we have?
None that I'm aware of, sir.
Okay, no audience comments. Item number D is board member comments. Any board member, have anything they'd like to share? Mike has been well trained. Connie. Just keep this.
I did not kick.
Oh, thank you all very much. All right, item number E is superintendent. You have anything you'd like to share with us?
Only thing we're sharing is personnel changes since the April board meeting. That's it. On reports, you heard the treasurer's report for the month on Monday. If you have any questions about it, we're happy to go back and address again. We shared the bonding potential. We'll remind you of that one. Not that it requires an action, but just to make sure. We're currently at 29 million, up a little bit from last month. We'll continue to watch that and keep you informed of that. You've been approving bills, and we remind you of that at each of the board meetings, which takes us then to the consent agenda.
All right, before we get into that, I'd like to share with those that may be watching on social media that the board has gone over this individually. We meet on Friday with the superintendent, and we'll go over every item on the agenda. On the Monday before the board meeting, we have a working session, and we have opportunity to go over this, ask questions, and so it's been thoroughly gone over. So, item number 4 is the consent agenda, unless any board member has seen something since our last time together that needs to be pulled out for discussion. I will entertain a motion to adopt the consent agenda.
So moved.
Mr. Hurt made the motion.
Second.
Mr. McQuarrie seconded. All in favor, let it be known by lifting hand. All board members were in favor. The consent agenda is approved. Item number 5 then is the action agenda, and item number A is to approve Garrard County Schools Virtual Academy.
So we've developed a plan for a virtual academy, and the approval tonight of that virtual academy and all the necessary components will establish that process for being admitted to the program and remaining in the program. It is not an automatic. There's a process that everyone would have to go through. In order to do this, we've done some significant work, a lot of legwork by Mr. Gresham, Mr. Boland. So I want to make sure we appreciate the efforts that they made to make sure that we have things ready to go before you on this. You've had an opportunity to read the explanation, you've seen the application, and then what the contract would look like. And so my recommendation is that you approve the Garrard County Learning Academy for the 2021-2022 school year.
You've heard the superintendent's recommendation. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the virtual academy.
Dr. Lamb made a motion to approve the virtual academy. Do I have a second?
Second it.
Ms. Davis seconded. Is there any discussion? Do you have any other questions? All in favor, let it be known by uplifting your hand. All board members were in favor. The academy is approved. Item number B is to approve Senate Bill 128, decision for the 2022 school year. So,
Senate Bill 128, as you know, is for the extra year. We had 43 individuals request that. You've had an opportunity to see those numbers and how they break out. Your decision is to approve all of those or none of those. There are no options other than a total decision one way or the other. It's my recommendation to you that you approve the supplemental year for Garrard County Schools.
would you explain why, please? Would you share?
Sure. So one of the pieces that I would share with you around that is I think your approval tonight does not ensure that any of these students decide to keep themselves in this. It's simply to give parents the opportunity to make that decision for themselves. As we go through the process moving forward, our plan is to make sure that everyone who has made this request is fully informed of what the potential ramifications for that would be. A decision made for someone who is in elementary right now may seem to be very simple and straightforward, but it could have ramifications for middle school and high school. We want to make sure that they're aware of that. But once they are aware of that, if it was a decision that they wanted to make, that would be fine. Our middle school and our elementaries have mechanisms already in place. So if we had a student who needs another year, that can always occur. High school has always functioned off of the concept of credits. So if somebody hadn't earned credits, they would simply be doing that again. But we do have individuals who made a request for this. Again, the recommendation is not so that you are necessarily saying that you're 100% in favor of it, but that you're saying that parents can have this choice.
Okay, thank you, sir. You've heard the superintendent's recommendation. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, Dr. Lamb made a motion to approve the supplemental year. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Ms. Davis seconded. Is there any other discussion from any board member?
I have a question. Relative to this, will parents have to sign off that they have gone through the information session so there will be no, I wasn't aware of consequences, and or is this just going to be a volunteer thing and let it ride?
So I'm happy to put that in place if that's something that would make you all feel more comfortable as a board to make sure that the parents have said, we understand the consequences. Not a problem.
And I guess in that way is that I think that each one of them should be mandated to go through the information session and sign off that they understand what's going on. So if there's any consequences up there, then we have a signature that they know what's happened or been made aware of what's going to happen.
Good.
Anybody else? All right, all in favor, let it be known by lifted hand. All board members were in favor. The item B is approved. Item C is to approve the tentative budget for the 21-22 school year. Mr. Stoll.
Once again, Ms. Coffey shared with you that tentative budget. We have asked you to recognize that there is it appears that there's a $200,000 shortfall. There is not. The $200,000 that we've allocated that is for maintenance efforts so that we can keep our facilities in the appropriate status that we want them to be in. And we would be taking that money out of the residual dollars that are coming to us this year. It would still put you at a spot where your contingency at the end of this year would be higher than your contingency was at the start of this year. So even though it would be a little bit lower than what you would end up with this year, it would still be you'd still be in a better position than you were when you came out of last year. So we want to be transparent about that, be clear that that's what we're doing with it. I didn't want you at another spot where we had a zero budget, looked like that we had overspend. We're telling you up front that that's what would happen with that. And if we don't have to utilize all those funds, they'll roll forward.
Okay, thank you, sir. You've heard the superintendent's recommendation. I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion, we approve tentative budget for 21-22 school year.
All right, Mr. McQuarrie made a motion to approve it. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Hurt seconded. Any questions or comments? All in favor, let it be known by a lifted hand. All board members were in favor. The tentative budget is approved. Item D is to approve salary schedule for 2021-22 school year.
Salary schedules that you're being asked to consider are the certified salary schedule, which has not changed from the current year. Classified salary schedule, which has a 50-cent increase to staff, 50-cent per hour increase. You're being asked to approve the extended days of service, the extra duty salary schedule, and the substitute teacher salary schedule. The only change is in the classified salary schedule. Our recommendation is that you approve all those salary schedules for the 21-22 school year.
Thank you, sir. You've heard the superintendent's recommendation. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Mr. Hurt made a motion to approve the salary schedules. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Ms. Davis second. Do any board members have any questions or comments? All in favor, let it be known by a lifted hand. All board members were in favor. The salary schedules is approved. Item E is to approve supplemental pay with ESSER 3 funds, Mr. Stowe.
So in appreciation of the effort of the staff this year during COVID and knowing that you all have appreciated all that they've done, we're making a recommendation for a one-time 2% supplemental pay. That would go to all of our staff on or about May the 28th of this year. Because of the way we have structured it, it would allow all of these funds to count toward retirement. So everyone gets that benefit as well. It is a one-time supplemental pay with ESSER 3 funds. So it is not general fund driven. So my recommendation is you approve this one-time supplemental pay using the ESSER 3 funds for the staff based on those guidelines that we've established.
Okay, you've heard the superintendent's recommendation. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make this.
Mr. McQuarrie made the motion. Do I have a second? Ms. Davis seconded. Do any board members have any questions or comments? All in favor, let it be known by a lifted hand. All board members were in favor. The supplemental pay item E is approved. Item F is to approve selection of architects for interviews based on responses to the RFP. Mr. Stowe.
You had 6 responses. I'm recommending that you interview 5 of those individuals or 5 of those firms. You had established the possibility of a June 10th date. We have had conversation with each of those architects, and that's a possibility for them. So a schedule has been put together. We have forwarded to them questions, asking them to come with answers to those questions. So it's not a Q&A back and forth. It's a presentation piece, kind of a performance-based expectation. We've set a time limit for them. Also giving you an opportunity to ask questions for clarification and for them to ask questions for clarification. So my recommendation is that you approve those identified architects for the interview.
Okay, thank you. You've heard the superintendent's recommendation. I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion.
Mr. McQuarrie made a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Hurt made a second. Does any board member have any questions or comments? If not, all in favor, let it be known by a lifted hand. All board members were in favor, so item F is approved. Item G is to approve audit contract with Patrick and Associates, Mr. Stowe.
A couple of board meetings ago, you selected Patrick and Associates to do the audit. Last month, we did not have from KDE the audit contract. We do now have that contract, and I would recommend that you approve the audit contract for the 21-22 school year with Patrick and Associates.
Thank you, sir. You've heard the superintendent's recommendation. I'll entertain a motion at this time.
I'll make a motion to approve the contract.
Dr. Lamb made a motion to approve the contract. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. McQuarrie seconded. Did any board member have any questions or comments? All in favor, let it be known by a lifted hand. All board members were in favor. The contract is approved. Item H is to approve reimbursement of classified staff background checks following completions of 6 months of service, Mr. Stowe.
You said that very well. The current cost is just under $100 for all of our staff members to go through the background check process. It's especially challenging for classified staff members because of the small amount of money that they would make. Once upon a time, I believe the board reimbursed for that or paid for that, and over the course of time, it went up and it ceased to happen. We're not recommending that you pay up front. We're recommending that if somebody steps into this role 6 months into the process of still being a successful employee with us, that we go back and reimburse. At this time, it's $96.25. And my recommendation is that you approve this reimbursement to our classified staff after a 6-month period. And I would also say that as you're doing this, that I would recommend this begin effective July 1 for the next year, starting with the next year.
You've heard the superintendent's recommendation. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Mr. McQuarrie made the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Hurd seconded. Any board member have any questions or comments? All members in favor, let it be known by uplifted hand. All board members were in favor. Item H is approved. Item I is to approve purchase of 150 interactive panels using ESSER 3 funds.
Because of the funding that we have through ESSER 3, this is an opportunity for us to take the burden off our site-based councils and decisions that they would have to make to move from a smart board to an interactive panel. So since we have those funds available, it's an opportunity for the board to basically save some money for site-based councils and allow that money to be directed back into the students as well. This is also use of ESSER monies that are sustainable. It's not a one-time thing. These boards will be around for quite some time, so we feel like it's a smart move on our part to do that. So my recommendation is that you allow the purchase of 150 interactive panels for all classrooms not currently equipped with an interactive panel.
Okay, thank you, sir. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Dr. Lamb made a motion.
Second.
Ms. Davis seconded. Do we have any questions or comments? All in favor, let it be known by uplifted hand. All board members were in favor. Item I is approved. Item J is to approve cafeteria repair project for Paint Lake Elementary.
We have collapsed drain line under the Paint Lake kitchen. We'll finish the year in that status, but then we need to do a repair of that. That includes digging through the floor and doing some significant work. The estimate that we have is about $14,000. My recommendation is that you approve this project.
Thank you, sir. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the project.
Dr. Lamb made a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Ms. Davis seconded. Any questions or comments? All in favor, let it be known by uplifted hand. All board members were in favor. Item J is approved. Item K is to approve purchase and implementation of employee time clock.
So we're asking for the adding of a time clock procedure for all employees. It would be piloted at the board office first. With me being a participant, we will not ask anybody to do something that I'm not willing to do myself. There are a couple of motivations for doing this. One is it eliminates the paper copies of timesheets, makes it a much easier flow, will reduce some workload for our staff. Second thing that it will do is it will ensure that principals know exactly who is in their building and when they're in the building. Very difficult for a principal to know that visually with all the different things that are going on. When you have elementary principals who are helping kids get out of cars, it's very tough to see if somebody's not arriving on time. Why does that matter? It's not an issue of professionalism, it's an issue of safety. When kids walk off the bus or step out of a car and they are sent to a classroom, we want to make sure our staff is there. We never want to have to come to you and say that there's been any kind of issue because we weren't in the spot that we need to be to provide that protection. We can use ESSER funds to do this, and so it's not a general fund cost to you. This seems to be the appropriate time to do it. It will not be in full force at the beginning of the year. It will be a slow rollout to try to make sure we do it correctly. We'll pilot it at the central office first. Second pilot will probably be with our food service because of the unique times at which they arrive. So my recommendation is that you approve the time clock purchase and then the implementation of the plan.
Thank you, sir. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
All right, Mr. Hurt made the motion. Do I have
Second.
Mr. McQuarrie seconded? Does any board member have any questions or comments? All in favor, let it be known by uplifted hand. All board members were in favor. Item K is approved. Item L is to approve pay application number 5 for candidate Ross Canopy project.
Momentum Construction has requested a payment in the amount of $20,320.25 for work that's being completed, so I recommend your approval of this pay application.
Thank you, sir. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Okay, Dr. Lamb made the motion. Do I have a second? Mr. McQuarrie seconded. Any questions or comments from any board member? All in favor, let it be known by lifted. Oh, you have a question, I'm sorry.
Just a statement. As we discussed before, this is our final group of checks to pay out the projects that we've started have been completed, with the exception of the locks on, some of the locks on the doors that were added at the very end of it. So
Interior doors at the middle school. That'll be.
We're about finished with the projects and we're
Yes,
about finished with their paychecks, so.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thanks, sir. Any other questions? Did everybody vote?
Not yet.
All in favor, let it be known by lifted hand. All board members were in favor. Pay application number 5 is approved. Item M is to approve pay application number 6 for the Camp Robinson Canopy project.
This finalizes the CDR canopy project, and this was the add of the ADA compliant ramp that had been missed. Momentum Construction is requesting pay in the amount of $3,346.50, and I would recommend you approve that pay application.
Thank you, sir. Do I have a motion to that effect?
So move.
Mr. Query made the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Hurd second. Any questions or comments? All in favor, let it be known by lifted hand. All board members were in favor. Item M is approved. Item N is to approve Garrard County Schools membership in the Central Kentucky Education Cooperative for 2021-22 school year.
This is a request for a second membership in a co-op. The request is being made because we really feel like that there's an opportunity for professional development that we haven't had access to. As a matter of fact, there's one in July. You approve this, we'll fill out the paperwork, send that in. If we're a member of their co-op, it's free for us. So you start recouping those dollars almost immediately. We feel like it's a benefit because it's localness, but we continue to do the other one because of the volume that they have and the answers we can get from them. So my recommendation is that you approve Garrard County Schools joining CKEC for the next school year.
Thank you, sir. You've heard the recommendation. Do I have a motion?
I move that we enter into this membership.
Ms. Davis made the motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Dr. Lamb second. Any questions or comments? All in favor, let me know by lifted hand. All board members were in favor. Item N is approved. Item O is to approve a job vacancy notice change. Mr. Cole.
A few years ago, the Kentucky Department of Education changed the length of postings for job positions from 30 days to 50 days or 15 days. We had not updated our information to reflect that. We want to make sure that you all know that we would like to update that, make that change so that you're not surprised if you see that that is no longer 30 days, it's 15. That's simply coming in line with what KDE had put in place. So my recommendation is that we update our materials to reflect that change to a 15-day posting.
Thank you, sir. You've heard the recommendation. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion, we approve the job vacancy notice change.
Mr. Hurd made the motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Dr. Lamb second. Any questions or comments? All in favor, let me know by lifted hand. All board members were in favor. Item O is approved. Item P is to approve changes to Garrard County Schools Chromebook plan.
Chromebook plan was approved by you for the first time last year. We're already asking you for changes. A couple of those changes, though, I think make a lot of sense to what we want to do. We would like to add a third entry point. That third entry point would be third grade. So the 3 entry points would be third grade, 6th grade, and 9th grade. The other thing that we'd like to request is the ability moving forward to allow seniors to take the Chromebook with them. Since they've had it for 4 years, the use of that Chromebook is probably nearing its end. And so it allows them to keep it and utilize it. It also means that we don't have to store them. In doing this, you will be surplusing or junking those books so that we can allow them to go to those students. My recommendation is that we allow the seniors to keep the Chromebooks upon graduation and that we update our Chromebook plan.
Okay, board members, you've heard the recommendation. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Mr. McQuarrie made the motion. Ms. Davis seconded. Any comments or questions? All in favor, let me know by lifted hand. All board members were in favor. Item P is approved. Item Q is to approve junking existing smart boards being replaced by the interactive panels.
So because you were gracious enough back in, I believe, to approve 150 interactive panels, they're going to replace 150 smart boards. We'd like your permission to junk those so that we can eliminate them as quickly as possible and not have to try to store those. So my recommendation is you approve the junking of the smart boards.
Thank you, sir. You've heard the recommendation. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Dr. Lamb made the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, Mr. McQuarrie made a second. You may have any comments or questions. All in favor, let me know by lifting hand. All board members were in favor. Item Q is approved. Item R is to approve time change for the June board meeting.
So due to an issue that had come up, we had looked at making a change to the Thursday meeting, and a recommendation was made by a board member, which was, I think, probably a wise one for this one, that you eliminate the second meeting in June, have only one meeting, move it to Monday, the 14th, change your normal start time on Monday from 5 to 6, so it accommodates this. We can still have the meetings on Friday leading into that. So my recommendation is you approve the time change for the June board meeting.
All right, you've heard the recommendation. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
Dr. Lamb made a motion to approve.
Second.
Ms. Davis second. Any questions or comments? All in favor, let me know by lifted hand. All board members were in favor. Item R is approved. And that's it.
Yes, sir.
Anything else from anybody? And the next motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion.
Mr. McQuarrie made the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Hurd second. Everybody was looking at Mr. Hurd. If everybody's in favor, let me know by lifted hand. Thank you. All board members were in favor. We are adjourned. Thank you all very much.